Good morning, everybody. My name is Nicola and I am simply a stitcher. Welcome or welcome back to my channel. Today it is the 6th of December, it's a Tuesday, and it is time for our first video offering of December, which today is going to be a Stitch With Me with chat. I am working today on the Heaven and Earth Designs Freebie Maui Princess, and as you can see here, this is the sun. And I thought I'd do a little bit of filling in and chat along today and see how far I can get. It's still relatively early. It's 6:45 in the morning. I've not been up very long. To tell you the truth, I'm not so well at the moment. I've got a nasty cough. So if you do hear me coughing, I do apologise in advance. So I'm keeping plenty of drinks, plenty of warm drinks, soothe my throat. And then hopefully... Oh, why is that so bright? That's it. And then hopefully I can recover. So there we go. So I hope everybody is keeping safe and well. I've had a busy sort of couple of weeks since my floss tube. Well, last week I did my floss tube. The week before, Andy and I were in Staffordshire for a visit for his channel. So I had a nice sort of few days away, and then this weekend just gone I was at a wedding. I've been on sort of annual leave from work the last 2 weeks, so in between that as well I've got kind of Christmas shopping done and a few other bits and bobs sorted, and yeah, it's been nice to be able to sort of get stuff organised and stuff in line, ready for the festive season. And how quickly is that coming upon us, eh? So went to Staffordshire, as I say, went to Uttoxeter, and Andy and I explored some of the local villages around there, and it was lovely. Rainy one of the day, really heavy rain, but it did get better sort of as the week went on. We stayed there, well, we went down there on the Monday, we came home on the Thursday, and we filmed on all of the days. So he's got a few days worth of videos in the bank. I took this piece with me and actually got quite a lot done. Normally when Andy and I go away, I don't tend to stitch very much because, you know, we do a lot of walking and stuff and it gets tiring. But this time I actually did quite well. I got quite a lot done. So this one hasn't been touched really sort of since then, to give my other pieces, excuse me, just getting comfortable, give my other pieces a bit of a chance. Oh. So we stayed in like a Premier Inn, which is always good. One sort of mild source of amusement was that Andy got locked in the bathroom. The mechanism wouldn't work and he couldn't get out. So I had to go to reception and ask for somebody to come and help me get him out. But yeah, I mean, we did some exploring and, you know, found some lovely places. Then the following sort of week we did, well, I did my Christmas shopping. Got that mainly done. There's a few sort of odd bits and bobs that I have to buy, but isn't that everybody? You know, you always sort of realise that you've forgotten something. So yeah, I did sort of a couple of days worth of shopping, and I got I think I got all the sort of the main presents. But it's just like the bits and bobs that I need to get a few more bits of. I haven't started the Christmas food shop yet. That'll be starting, well, the freezer stuff will start this week. I'm expecting to have Andy's parents here for Christmas as well as my stepdad. Whether my brother will come or not, I don't know. He's not said. So and then Andy's children, of course, will join us at some point over Christmas, but I don't know when or anything yet. We've not been told. But I don't work Christmas Eve anymore. I don't work, well, I say I don't work Christmas Eve. I would have worked Christmas Eve had it fallen on a weekday, but because my job is 9 to 5, Monday to Friday, and Christmas Eve this year falls on a Saturday, happy days. I don't have to work Christmas Eve for the first time in a number of years. Haven't got my tree up yet. That'll be, I think, a job for maybe this weekend. Hannah's got a 21st birthday next week, so I'm kind of always a bit cautious about putting up my tree, simply because I don't want to overshadow her birthday. And especially with her being 21, ouch, it's quite a special birthday, so I've had a couple of questions about starting and ending my threads. I will put a card up in the top corner, linking to the video where I show you how I start and end my threads. Basically, I'm lazy. I don't like to turn my hoop over. So, you can just click on the card when you're ready, and it should take you to the video. Oh. Just move along slightly. And then this week, on Friday, it'll just gone, I went to a wedding. Andy and I have known I've known the lady who got married for like 4 years because I've been working with her. So Andy and I went off down there. He didn't go to the wedding. He was not on the guest list. Unfortunately, in sort of times that we live in, numbers need to be sort of kept down, and that was fine because Andy it took advantage and went off filming for a little while. So myself and three of my work colleagues were sort of all together, and we had a lovely time. The wedding itself was absolutely beautiful, held in a hotel. The bride looked stunning. and then you had bridesmaids and obviously pages, ushers, best man, that kind of thing. It was just all so beautiful. And after the wedding ceremony, we went and had sort of canapes and stuff, and drinks, and plenty of photo opportunities. And then we had a sit-down meal, a 2-course meal, which was actually, believe it or not, it was plenty. I think the problem is when you go to a wedding, if you go to one and it's like 4 courses, starter, main course, pudding, coffee, it can get a bit it can really get sort of stuffy, and you can feel uncomfortably full. So just having the 2 courses was just right, really. And then there was sort of more photo opportunities after that. The hotel had like a tunnel. Up in wrong hole there. And we were all sort of stood in the tunnel with sparklers for the bride and groom to run through, which was quite novel. I'd never sort of seen or done anything like that before. And then they had an evening sort of disco. So of course we were all up dancing, which is probably why my back's a bit done in actually, but and then they had some food in the evening, just like a sort of a hot roast pork sandwich kind of thing. And it was just fantastic. We all had such a lovely day. And it was the kind of wedding where you went to, things moved, you weren't bored, and you didn't want for anything. So it's probably why I sound like I've been eating gravel, actually, all the singing and things. But then, as I said, I have got a bit of a cough. Then I went back to work yesterday, and honestly, after a couple of hours, it felt like I'd never been off. It really did. I don't think there's really much else to tell y'all. I haven't done much else from weddings and shoppings. I really ought to find some subjects to talk about on these Stitch With Me's. The last one where we talked about Christmas and what sort of our family did do at Christmas seemed to be quite popular. Lots of lovely comments. doing here? Oh yeah. My master set is coming along well. As you remember, I said what I was going to do is on the plastic thread cards, make myself a master set of DMC. It's coming along well, slowly, and it's working. So next year the plan is a box of works in progress and a box of thread. So I've quite enjoyed I do enjoy sort of being in thread. It makes me happy. Andy always says that if you sort of sit me with a cone of thread, a needle and a bit of fabric, I'd be happy all day, and it's true. I just, for this, it's relaxation, it's mindfulness. I'm pretty sure that lots of people feel the same way. I'm going off out filming again this weekend with Andy. We'll see what that brings. Needles come unthreaded. Bane of my life. It's nice and quiet here this morning. I love Tuesday mornings. Hannah, my eldest, is at the dog rescue. Youngest is at school. Middle one is out at the boyfriend's and went last night. Andy's at work, and I just love having the house to myself on a Tuesday morning. It feels quite good. I think it's Tuesdays and occasionally Fridays, because not always, are the 2 days during the week that I get the house to myself, which is quite nice because it means I can have my time. And my time is being able to film like this, undisturbed, uninterrupted, and just sort of have something that pleases me. I'm not saying that being a wife and a mum isn't pleasing, but sit me here with my stitching in peace and quiet. I'm happy all day. I didn't get in as much stitching as I wanted during my 2 weeks of annual leave. Excuse me, don't get me wrong, I got in a fair bit, but not as much as I anticipated. I missed going over a stitch there. I worked on I've worked on Realm of Middle Earth. I've worked on Envy, although not much on Envy. This one, of course. And the stitching shelf. The stitching shelf has actually had some good progress. If I continue the way I am, I use the Stitch Pal app. I don't know if anybody else has got that. It's handy for sort of keeping track on full coverage projects. As it stands, if I carry on as the way I'm going with a stitching shelf, I will finish it in late March 2026, which isn't bad, is it? I haven't got this one in there. But of course next year my full coverage, I am sort of slowing down on it. Because, you know, as I explained in my earlier videos, I've got all these beautiful kits that I bought because they were beautiful kits, and I've not done anything with them. And how bad is that, really, you know? So I want to work on some of those, you know, and that'll sort of twofold. It'll, first of all, it'll use up some of the kits that I bought, and secondly, I'm gonna get at least 10 finishes next year, which I'm quite excited about, because this year I think I've had, let's see, Seahorse, Fellowship, two Lord of the Rings travel posters, Avarice. Is it just 5? Oh, the Cat 6. The yeah, the Black Cat and Butterflies is 6, and Alice for Lamb is 7. So I've had 7 finishes, which isn't bad. So if I go as I am and go to the plan, that'll be up to 10 next year. And I was asked, and I do want to sort of put it out again as to what I will do if I do finish the small kit during the month, because as I said, some of them will be finished quite quickly because they are little. I would just add some extra stitches into a full coverage, or work on the kit that Andy's bought me for Christmas, which is a Gecko Rouge kit. It's the Lorna Lane piece, the B. I think it's probably her most well-known Gecko Rouge piece. So I've got that. And like I said, also, I keep saying about it, my New Year New Start 2022, which has not had a single stitch in it, will likely get started either later this month, if I can get my master set fully completed, which I do anticipate that I will, or early next year. But I've also got just the one non-full coverage on the go at the moment that I do want to get finished, which is of course Pandemic. I'm on sort of page 15 of it. I can't remember if it's 18 or 21 pages. I can't remember how many pages it is. But I would like to finish Pandemic. Let's just mark off a few stitches. So next week I have a busy week. Monday, Tuesday work from home. Probably going to do my supermarket shop Tuesday evening next week, because Wednesday I'm in the office, and then we have our office Christmas meal. And Thursday it's Hannah's birthday. I can't quite believe I have a 21-year-old. This year's been kind of a big year for birthdays in this house, because, let me just move that along a little bit. I got Hannah turned 21, Victoria turned 18, and Lauren turned 13. So, big year for birthdays. this thread. Anyway, controversial subjects, I know, but next Thursday, and this Thursday and next Thursday, there's a certain Netflix series dropping. I haven't got Netflix, although I know that at least one of the daughters has, so I may watch, I may not. But the controversial documentary from Harry and Meghan will be coming out. Not quite sure if I, well, like I say, I mean, I may watch it, I may not. I might just get all of the information off YouTube, if I'm honest with you, with what's in it, rather than give them the ratings. I do feel it's in poor taste. And they're sort of talking about an institution that does not, generally speaking, speak out and defend itself. Although I would hope that if any of the revelations in this documentary are in any way unfounded or unfair, that the king will respond. But, certainly, I mean, it's not really caused much of a buzz, if I'm honest with you. I think they're a very strange sort of couple. Don't want the trappings of royal life, don't want the press exposure. Excuse me. Unless it suits them. And it's just, for me, it's just, I kind of don't know which side of the fence to sit on. But I don't think that this kind of dirty laundry should be aired in public. And of course, they do have this habit of releasing information or photographs or whatever just when a notable member of the royal family is doing something themselves. Like, they released a trailer for the Netflix series when Prince William and Catherine were over in the USA. On the Jubilee, they released a picture of Lilibet. There's just been, excuse me, all sorts of odd happenings. And, it's just a bit strange. But let's see what happens. The impression I get from, I watch a few channels on YouTube, and the impression that I get from the people who are based in the USA is that the Americans are not terribly, I don't know if I want to use the word interested, enthusiastic, I think is more the word, about this couple. But yeah, it's just that the way that they conduct themselves is just a little bit odd. So I'll just see if I can potentially get the daughter to lend me her Netflix and maybe watch. I don't know. But even if you do watch, I think it'd be very one-sided. And how can you pick out what's fact and what's fiction when the other side, as it were, are not in a position to respond? I don't know. And let's see what else they do. The book is coming out in January. I shan't be buying that. I shan't be bothering with that. I haven't looked at any of the other books that have come out recently. We've had a few this year. No, not my thing. I do read, but it's not a subject matter I'd be sort of interested in. I do apologise for having a bit of a sniff snoff. What my daughters call a sniff snoff. Oh dear. Of course, the thing that's coming up about the trailer is the fact that some of the images and shots that they've used in the trailers, in both of the trailers actually, are not even from Harry and Meghan's time in the royal family. There's shots of photographers at a movie premiere, which took place about 5 years before Harry and Meghan even met. Paparazzi outside a courthouse, which was for somebody else entirely. And I've just seen, my daughter's just sent me a link. There's one picture of cheering children, which is actually an 80-something-year-old picture. So how does that work? Some of the pictures that they've used in these trailers have absolutely nothing to do with their time within the royal family. Surely if you're going to do a documentary, you have an indication, they should indicate that it's within their time. Or you should denote that, it's not. Fact-checking people. I think that's what they've not done. They've just not fact-checked it enough. But anyway. Excuse me. These are interesting times. Let's see what the next couple of weeks brings with it. Oh, that's something else we're doing for Christmas. I don't know if I mentioned it on my last one. We booked the pantomime for Boxing Day. So we're going to go see our local pantomime, which is, I think it's Beauty and the Beast. So we'll all five be going to that, which will be quite exciting. Especially as the little one, the youngest one, says, I've never been to a pantomime. I'm pretty sure she has with school. Because the schools usually run a pantomime. These colours on this sun are not as easy to work with because they are very pale, but we shall persevere. Once it's done, it's done. Next thing then is to start on some more skin for this piece. What have I done here? That's it. I'd managed to put my needle through the thread lower down the strand there. That sounds like my vibrate function is on, and it shouldn't be. And again, my phone has been messing about a bit just lately, so I do apologise if you can hear the vibrate function. We're getting ready to have the kids come through for school o'clock. I live around the corner from a primary school. You know, they get lots of children passing here. Just do a quick mark off. Just move along again. That's it. I might have to have some breakfast before I start work today. I've got tummy rumbles already. Normally what happens is that I'll start work and I'll have breakfast sort of, you know, during my break at about 10:30. But today I've already got rumbles, which is not like me. So, might have to eat some breakfast before. I have to admit to being not the greatest breakfast fan. So for me it'll be something simple like a bit of toast. I don't do cereal very much. So sorry about this tickly cough, it's horrible. I think my mute button will be on overtime today. In an ideal world, I wouldn't work if I'm, when I'm like this, but I've just had 2 weeks off. It'd be, a bit daft not to be going into work just because of a little cough. Andy's off filming again today. He's gone up to sort of York and that area. Excuse me. So he'll not be home until mid to late afternoon, I suspect. And then Lauren will be home next, not long after, she finishes school at 3. And then Hannah will be home nearly 6. December 21st, I'm looking forward to, when we get, slightly more daylight, we start to get more daylight again. I really, really dislike the dark mornings, and then the dark evenings. It's just awful. It was especially bad when we were working full time in the office, because you go into the office when it was dark and you come home when it was dark. And you just didn't feel like you had a life. I suppose it's when you're working from home, it's not so bad because, what have I done here? Oh yeah. I mean, where I sit gets a fair bit of natural light, so. But when you're in sort of an enclosed office that doesn't get a lot of natural light, it's not very uplifting, is it? I mean, people argue, well, you could go out for a walk on your lunchtime. Yeah, but it's cold. I don't like being cold. Speaking of cold, had a bit of a shock. With my electricity bill. We've been putting in meter readings and not using an awful lot, and then all of a sudden we used an awful lot, but not of gas for the heating, of electricity. We use a lot more electricity at the moment. fortunately we still have a decent amount of credit with the utility company, so it's not so bad, but still. I was like, wow, I can't believe we've used that much. So we've had to kind of redouble our efforts to turn everything off. I mean, we're not sort of big television watchers. It's been on just lately because of the football. Not that I watch the football. But then again, even Andy sort of tends to watch it online if he can. For us, it's the main thing is computers and the kettle, and of course the oven, for cooking. But we sort of try and have one or two hob or one pan meals, if we can during the week, which stops us sort of using the oven. And then we do use the oven, we need to make, I said to the guys, we need to make it worthwhile to use the oven. So make sure it's full when we're using it, not just one person doing themselves a couple of sausages or whatever. I have my kettle, my big sort of 3 litre water flask, which I fill and boil the kettle twice in the morning and fill it up, and that gives me hot water. Well, it gives us hot water for drinks for the whole day. Otherwise, we'd be boiling the kettle 10 times a day. Boiling the kettle 10 times a day rather than twice a day, obviously I'm saving an awful lot of energy there. But it is shocking that a third of my wage is being spent on energy. A third. And I'm on a reasonably decent wage. I work for a bank. The government are going to have to do something about the energy costs in the UK. There's going to have to be a step in somewhere. The line is going to have to be drawn, because the energy providers are still making millions, if not billions, in profit. And yet there are people in this country who are literally having to choose between heating and eating. And it shouldn't be happening. I think it's really, really bad. If I ever found out that somebody I knew was having to make that choice, I'd step in and help. But yeah, it's just awful at the moment, where for us here, I mean, I know it's the same the world over, don't get me wrong. We're not in a war-torn country, which is a good thing, but the knock-on effect of war is that we're having to, well, obviously everybody's having to pay more. The Russian sort of oil and gas and things, and it just sort of seems very unfair. But I suppose it is what it is. But it is, like I said, a bit gutting that a third of my pay is going on heating and electricity. It's certainly not that in the summer, don't get me wrong. But in the winter, just to sort of stay comfortable in my own home. Anyway, it is what it is. Keep saving my pennies where I can. I mean, Andy gets obviously revenue from his YouTube channel at the moment, which helps with fuel costs. I'm starting to get some revenue from mine as well, which will help with my costs. I know that, you know, in the grand scheme of things, I don't have a lot, but it just helps me to, you know, keep, you know, buying the supplies and making the content and entertaining people. Oh, excuse me. Well, I am almost done for the morning. I have to go get ready for work. Get logged on and so forth. Long tail on that one. Ready to start my 9 to 5. I'm just trying to make 200 stitches before I close off for the day. I'll close off for this session. So I will be back next week on Tuesday with a floss tube. There we go, we've made 200. That's definitely looking a bit more filled in now. So I will be back next week with a floss tube on Tuesday, and probably later this week I'll put out another video, though I've not decided what kind of video yet. But other than that, that's all for now, guys. So take care, happy stitching, stay safe. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you all on the next video. Bye bye for now.